Thank you for listening to my SSI Fellowship application on community perspectives on paid and volunteer contributions in open source and open science. My name is Esther Plomp, and I am currently a data steward at the Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands. And more importantly, for this project, I am also a project member of the Turing Way since 2021, which is a UK-based project. I am also a member of several other open science communities, and hence my interest in this topic. So, to dive right in, the Turing Way is an open, collaborative, community driven project that aims to make data science accessible, comprehensible, and effective for everyone. And what this fellowship aims to understand is how we can support both paid and volunteer members in contributing to the community, which then again contributes to community success. And there has been some previous research in this aspect of open source community. So, for example, general effects of paying contributors, as well as what type of conflicts might arise when corporate interests are intermingled with community interest. But there's actually little focus on what being paid means and what effect it has on community dynamics, with the exception of the Rust programming language. And that raises an interesting question in the first place. What does being paid actually mean? So, does this mean that the person is officially compensated by their employer? Do they snuck it into work hours? Does it also mean that exchange of expertise or services count as being paid? Or can it also mean incentives like professional development, creative inputs, or participation costs? Or does being paid look even more different than what is listed in this slide? And then once we figure out what being paid means, what are then the differences between being paid and between being a volunteer member? And what effect does it have on the sustainability for the community, on leadership roles within the community, and on the general community dynamics? So, in terms of sustainability, what are the impacts on the long and short term contributions for contributors? And how do they transition to these leadership roles? Are there differences between paid and volunteer members? And in terms of community, do paid and volunteer members interact differently with leadership or with newer and less engaged community members? So, in order to investigate all of these questions, I plan to set out a survey in the Turing Way community and do some more in depth interviews. And the way that I would like to approach that is to do a scoping review first, so I can prepare the survey questions, as well as an ethical review, because this involves human participants in Europe. And after that, I want to actually set out the survey and do an analysis of the survey results so that I can prepare for the interviews that I want to do. And these interviews and the analysis of the interviews should hopefully take place before the next contributor event of the Turing Way, which is the Book Dash that takes place in May 2025, as well as the collaboration workshop, of which I would also like to contribute to with any insights that we get from the survey and the interviews. And after that, I don't suppose we're done. So I'll make space for follow up interviews, analysis, and I want to work on a report or an article or at least some type of output so that we can share the results with other communities so that they can hopefully also learn from the results. In terms of budget, I would like to mainly use the budgets to travel to the UK for the book dash and the collaboration workshop in May 2025. I may need some financial support for transcription, so either support or software. And because we wanted to share the results, if we want to do that in a journal, then perhaps some budget for open access fees might be needed. And this project or this application is closely related to some of the other applications that are coming in now. So, for example, the one from Ariel Bennett on open source practices and policies at the Alan Turing Institute, and Ella Kai on sustainability of Rainbow R. And I'd happily collaborate with any of these projects, of course. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention, as well as some people who provided input in this presentation, Malvika, Yo, and Joshua. Thank you.